Mr. Chairman, we've put $53 billion into facilities and equipment over the last 20 years, and as I mentioned earlier, we're going to give that asset to a private corporation for no remuneration. And I would say that that has been paid disproportionately by passengers, taxpayers of the United States of America who are passengers on airlines. The ticket tax is the disproportionate amount. Yet there is no consumer or passenger rep on the board, and this is a yes or no question. Do you believe there should be a consumer passenger representative on this board? Yes or no? Mr. Callio? You can pass if it's yes or no or pass.
I'm not going to do a yes or no.
Okay, all right. Then on
Mr.
Rinaldi, yes or no?
I would be okay with it.
I'm sorry?
I would be okay with it.
Okay.
Yes, and I think that the Secretary is going to appoint such people.
Well, that depends on the Secretary. Mr. Boland.
I don't think there should be a board. I think the public airspace should be governed by the public's elected officials.
All right, you get around the question, too. All right, but in any case, all right, now let's go to another issue that's of tremendous concern representing a smaller airport. The GAO report, which again, I apologize, people haven't had a chance to read, but since today's the only hearing, tomorrow's the markup, one of the points they make is that small and rural communities could be negatively affected under this construct. And they go on to say, in the case of the Canadian restructure, Canada's law addresses this issue by providing protections for designated services in northern or remote areas. This bill has no such provisions. There will be another yes or no answer here in a second. Robin Hayes, JetBlue CEO, said the corporation, quote, would direct infrastructure improvements to regions of the country where they'll produce the most benefits, like the Northeast. Jeff Smisek said United's domestic network would be only as big as necessary to fee his international network. Now, does that sound like we're going to have a comprehensive system that serves everybody's and everybody's interests and everybody's interests are protected? I'll start with you, Mr. Boland, yes or no?
No.
Come on.
No, but I think
okay, that's good.
That's an airline CEO.
We only have 5 minutes, so yes, Mr. Rinaldi.
What you quoted, no, but I don't believe that's just the opinion of airline CEOs.
Yeah, that's right, and they only have 4 seats on the board. Mr. Callio. Okay, thank you. Good. All right, let's move on to air traffic control because we are talking about now, one of the issues, and I would be interested how the board might deal with this, and this is a quote from Randy Babbitt, and you can talk about satellite base, you can talk about the spiffiest system in the world, we can do everything in the world, but at the end of the day at LaGuardia Airport, where it's a one-runway operation, we can still only land once every 54 seconds. And then he goes on to talk about airlines opposing PFCs and that. We won't get into that debate today. But the point is, this new board is going to want to make the system more efficient. Regional airlines, of course, are opposed. What would happen if the board said you can't land a plane that carries less than X number of passengers at LaGuardia Airport, essentially putting the regional airlines out of business? Is that possible under this construct? Yes or no?
Yes, it is, and that's one of our fundamental concerns about it.
Mr. Poole?
I don't think so, because I think that's an airport question.
Okay, you don't think so, but you won't yet, Mr. Rinaldi.
I don't believe it is.
Okay. What?
No, it is not possible.
Okay, it's not possible. Okay, then.
No, under federal regulations, it's not.
Okay, well, good. Then let's go back to my previous point. Would any of you support the provision that we have in Canada, which says on a statutory basis, their law addressed the issue for protections for designated services in northern remote areas. Should we adopt something similar for small and medium airports in the United States of America? Yes or no?
I think we should have as many protections as possible, and I'm not sure those protections are going to be sufficient.
Ms. Poole?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Rinaldi?
Yes, of course.
For remote areas, yes. Oh, am I on? Yeah.
Well, we didn't get remote. I want to go beyond remote. Okay. All right. Let's move on now to the issue of getting new technology on board. ESB stuff. Where's that? Quickly. Sorry, I haven't figured out how to write notes on my iPad yesterday, and on the text of your your statements. Well, never mind. We can't find that one right now. I'll get my next round. Let's go to another one. So we're always, here we're really upset about things that are too big to fail, and I couldn't create a government corporation because that would be like Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, any of those GSEs, whatever. We can't have that. Can't have that because we have to bail them out. Well, what happens if this system goes insolvent? Wouldn't you say that the air traffic control of the movement of goods and people across the United States of America is too big to fail, that it's an absolutely essential service, and if it became insolvent, Congress would have no option but to bail it out, as happened in Great Britain after it was privatized? Mr. Boland, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Poole?
No.
Oh, we wouldn't bail it out. We'd just let it shut down? Okay,
No,
good.
no. The customers would have to pay more.
No, the customers would have to pay more. Okay, what if the Secretary disapproves that? Mr. Rinaldi?
Yes.
No.
No. Okay. So we have some disagreement there. So we're creating something that is too big to fail. In the case of Great Britain, because of a downturn in air traffic, they had to bail it out. Mr. Poole says we shouldn't bail it out, they should just raise fees. But as we saw in the Rube Goldberg construct, if you raise fees, for instance, you want to charge passengers for using the airspace over the United States, the Secretary has to approve it. Bernie Sanders, Secretary of Transportation, says, hell no, we're not going to charge people to use the airspace in the United States. We have an impasse here. I think there are a lot of unanswered questions. I'm over my time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your indulgence, and we'll get to another round.